What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here, and I've got a special one for you today. A recently released, first of its kind, carbon fiber solar system collaboration piece between Shirogorov and Igor Oleinikov. So, super well done, high level of detail, very limited on these right now. I would assume based on the kind of other versions of this. I know they did some quantum solar systems in full tie. That was more of a kind of purpley blue anodize. I've done a video on that knife, and I've managed to get a hold of, I think, 2 of them over the course of about a year of lotteries, I think, on those. So this is the first of its kind in carbon fiber, completely different look on the back of the knife. And as far as I know, there's 10 of these right now floating around. So don't know if that's going to change, but based on the other variation, I think the chances are good they'll do more of these. But, never say never. Things happen, and you just never know. So I think this knife looks incredible. We got a great one to talk about today. Great action, just terrific level of detail on this particular one. It looks fantastic. So sit back, relax, grab a Coke, grab a coffee, a whiskey, around the beer, wine, whatever you're into. For me, I've got a cold Coke Zero. So buckle up. As a reminder, guys, check out BladeZilla.ca. That's my site. I'm in Canada. Lots of cool stuff here. Focusing on specialty knives. So got some Shiro, got some manual Protex, lots of some Pennas, some Chavez. Oh my goodness, CKFs, Microtechs, lots of cool stuff. Koenigs, Kunus, lots of great stuff, ready to rock and roll. And, more than anything, the site's a passion. So, check it out, BladeZilla.ca. We're not here to talk about BladeZilla.ca. We're here to talk about the quantum carbon solar system. So I guess we should probably focus more around that. And first and foremost, what do we see here? What are we looking at on this carbon scale? Well, we can kind of see how the pivot has been reversed compared to a standard quantum, which would be the sun. You can see Mercury, Venus, Earth, and you can see the moon floating around Earth, which is so cool. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, I believe. That's kind of how that order goes. It's been a long time since I was in grade 5 and had to recite the planets. But I think it's something around that order. I think it looks cool. All different materials and different metals. And I'm not sure if they're actually physically accurate to scale, if that was thought into the equation, but all different materials used, inlaid, looks just next level. And then on the back side, so you get the carbon front scale, a little bit lighter quantum, but on the flip side, this is what I feel like no one's really talking about. I believe this is the same milling pattern as the quantum solar system in titanium, but without the anno, it just appeases my inner plain Jane fanboy, because you see a lot more of the detail, I feel like, versus when there's kind of that anodizing hiding some of it, especially around the milling bits inside here, the clip, and then just the solar system vibe with all the radiating kind of movement of the planets that they make. I just think it looks so sick and unique. And dare I say, I think this is, with the plain Jane side, I think it looks better, my opinion, than the anodized version. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Action-wise, it's run on multi-row bearings, as we would expect in this configuration. Is it written inside? Yes, it is, on the inside of that scale. MRBS. Hopefully you can see that. Should be some light on there. On the inside of the actual knife, the titanium, I would assume, has a little bit of milling, but we'll take a peek. Can we see it better if I put it this way? Because I have a window in front. Not really. Let's take a look and see if it's skeletonized. Given that it's carbon, you don't really need to skeletonize carbon. We just have the inlays for the planets, which kind of pop out just a little bit. And then the standard kind of quantum milling. There's some skeletonization on the inside, not a ton. But that's what you get on a quantum blank typically. They forego the backspacer in exchange for a standoff, which is, I believe, exactly what they did on the last variation of this knife as well, which is fine. We've got the Bane mask as well, triple pin on the front, which looks great. And the blade is I think it's Chromax on these, as was the other versions. Yeah, Chromax PM. Pretty cool. And I guess let's start with some measurements. As you know, I'm a little excited. I usually try to do this like within the first couple minutes of the video, because I'm all giddy looking at a new knife version. Here we go. Let's see. So for those of you who are not quantum nuts or F95 nuts like myself, so blade length is coming in at literally a hair under 4 inches, so it should be 95 mil roughly. I believe it's the same length on the quantum as it is the F95, but it looks like it's just a hair under 4 inches. Handle length 4 7/8 for an overall package length of 8 5/8, 8 3/4, depending on probably 8 3/4, depending 8 3/4. Let's go with that. You know, don't have the luxury right now of looking right at the tape measure. I've got a tripod in front of my face and a screen, so it depends on your line of eyesight, I suppose. Weight wise, I don't think they published a weight on this as far as I remember, and I'm doing this all freehand. I don't have a spec sheet in front of me. I know I'm a little late to the game on these ones, but it just took a little while to actually track one down. Let's take a look. 4 ounces, 3.6, 3.7, 3.6, somewhere in there. Okay, great. 3.7, and just to give an idea, where's my Quantum Monkey Edge frag? There we go. Just to give a full tie, 4.3. So quite a bit lighter than a standard Quantum. Remember, because it's carbon fiber. And another unique feature of this is Shiro hasn't done a lot of carbon fiber Quantums. They've done some on the custom division side, obviously. Or have they done custom division? I guess the WKM Quantum, Quantium was well done, really well done, high-end stuff, but they haven't done a ton of the carbon Quantums. They've kind of done more of the Hatties on the F95 platform. Half tie is Hattie, half tie, fun fact. Boy, oh boy. So it's rare to have this level of detail on a Quantum platform. So just first impressions of taking a look at this is that slice of carbon fiber they used really pops nicely. And I've got a fixed light above me here. And hopefully you're seeing this kind of shine around. It's really, really well done. And I recall I had a couple of Igor Oleinikov like true customs come through that were done in carbon fiber. And I swear this is the same piece. Just that same style of just standard black carbon fiber weave. It just really pops nicely. And then you get you get the Shirogorov milling down low here as well. But I would have thought you'd get a little up top like you normally would, but that's kind of foregone in replacement for that kind of solar pattern of the planet rotating. So let's see, do we notice a difference in hand? I can't really tell a difference. It feels like a Quantum. Jimping, pretty standard. Nice little spot for your hand to fall. Blade flat and concave on top ever so slightly. I don't know if you're going to see that, but there is a little concave there, so your thumb can kind of choke up quite nicely. It's reinforced all the way to the tip. That's what she said. Shiro Bear on the blade as well. Nicely done with their standard stonewash. The Chromax that's written on this side of the blade. Looks really nice. And then that plain Jane tie just pops that planetary vibe out of it just like crazy. I was not expecting to love it that much, but I really do. As I mentioned, it's on multi-row bearing system. We've got a lock bar insert / over travel stop on here as well, which can be replaced quite easily. You can kind of see it hanging down like a molar of a tooth with the right light. Action, silky smooth as you'd expect. Since these guys are kind of hand assembled, I feel like they get a little more love on the action. That tends to be less break-in out of the box, and I don't know if that's an Igor thing, if it's a Shiro thing, but it works. Now, just looking at this bevel profile, it's a little different from what I'm seeing. So we've got a bevel that runs all the way along the top here. That should be pretty recognizable. And then, I think they're the same. The same bevel runs along the back, and then we've got that little bump to reinforce that pivot. Okay, so I think we are actually, that's a nice little detail, by the way. I think we are, I just want to take a look at a standard. Let's grab a standard Quantum G10 here to show you this, how they kind of do that too. So, see how they do that bevel along the top? The reinforcement, and then if I flip it over here, you've got a real thick bevel, right? On the show scale. This is the Quantium. But I think, did we keep that? Yeah, it's more, it's certainly still there, but I feel like it's more rounded, just so slightly, not crazy, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. Same cutouts on the underside here. And it'd be nice to kind of see the two just for patterning, right? It's a G10 versus carbon, I know, but it just to see the difference between the two is always nice, right? That same cutout, the rollback. Total 2 different levels of detail, I will say that. In terms of a couple comparisons, well, let's do a couple here. Let's put this down. There we go. Let's do, so our standard Quantum. This is a single row bearing monkey edge frag. Really great knife. One of the first, actually, Shirogorovs I ever collected. Beautiful knife. But you're seeing that same detail down here, right? That little inlay. Or it's not inlay, what am I saying? Little beveling down here, but that pattern is still evident on the carbon, which is great. We can do a Hattie half tie F95. This is Techno Carbo. So, Shirogorov does a lot on the Techno Carbo side, including the recently released 111 Arum and 111 Ignis. Those are all Technocarbon, lots of cool materials involved in those. But, just different kind of feel to it than, I think this is more of an Igor style carbon fiber material, which is just kind of standard, I don't know what they call it, like 3K weave or whatever. We can take a look at an Astrum. The most underrated knife I feel like right now. It was my 2024 knife of the year for the channel. And they continue to sell well, and people love them. If you guys recall, on the Astrum, they came out with a first production, which was I think it was MagnaCut, with a blue ano, and then Sienkiewicz Touch version, and then full production. Really cool knife, and very, very, mirrors very closely with the Custom Division in terms of fit, feel, finish. Really, really well done knife. We can do a bio. That is a Sienkiewicz bio. Really cool. Everyone looks at these and they think that the pivot is this big bulb that sticks out of the knife. I can assure you, watch this. Watch. It's like almost non-existent. It's all shaping of that hardware. So cool. I've done a video on the bio, light and the dark. Really cool. One of my all-time favorite knives from Shiro. Russian Overkill. RJ Martin collaboration. Great knife as well. More of that American vibe feel to it, right? More of a hunting knife style. Looks great, feels great. We can do a recently released, and you know what? This one I gotta open in front of a mic just to hear this crack. Oh. The Fat Strip. Sienkiewicz model as well, Fat Strip, which I will continually die on this hill. The fact that it's called Fat Strip makes me think there's other variants possibly in the work. But Fat Strip, it comes from the 5mm blade thickness, so it's a chonky boy. Absolutely great. I know a few guys who would love this knife. It's just terrific. It's been widely well received. Some people aren't huge fans because of the size, because on paper it's not a 4-inch blade, but it fits in your hand like a 4-inch blade because it's so thick. The Russian Laksa, this Russian flipping Laksa. Scott Cook collab recently came out with this, October, November-ish in 2024. Has it been that long already? Like 4, 5, 6 months? I don't even know. Hard to find pieces. First integral Shirogorov ever made. Really, really well done. Hard to get. And my understanding was actually very hard to make as well. Really great knife. I have another whole long, lengthy review on this knife. Really, really well done. Love these so much. Okay. I think that will be it on the Shiro front. Do we want to even get into other, maybe a Chris Reeves Sebenza, just for reference? There's your large Seb. Drop point 31 S45 VN with a direct competitor's logo on it, but it's Canadian, so go Canada. It's all good. I don't sell Chris Reeves. Well, I have, but not regularly. So there you go. Classic knife. This is the... I always compare this to Shirogorov's F95. It's their Sebenza. So the Sebenza, many knife collectors, when they first get started, the first knife they tend to buy, Sebenza drop point. And rightfully so. They're great knives. Okay, I think did I do a neon? Sorry. Just for fair reference, a neon. Little baby neon. There you go. Okay, so there's the Shiro line, comparatively, to the Quantum Solar. And are they calling this the solar system, or is there a different name for it? I'm just looking in the box. Quantum Solar System. Yeah, that's what they're calling it. Which I believe they called the old version the Quantum Solar System as well. So I feel like they should just call it a Carbon Quantum Solar System, or a Quantium Solar System would also work. But that's okay. So what do we change about this knife? Well, in a true collector's world, and remember, the price point on this, guys, is not crazy. I think they're around $1,500-$1,600 table US, and there's 10 of them. So this will be, and just like the regular version of the Quantum Solar System in full tie, they doubled over the course of about a year in price. Do I see this hitting $3,000? No, not necessarily. US, I could see it easily being in the mid-2s almost immediately, just based on the fact that there's 10 of them. As they release more of them, if that's what they do, I assume this price point will kind of level off a little bit. But, if you're a true collector, these are the kinds of knives you want to grab, because they're just so unique. And you pull one of these out at a show, or with your buddies or whatever, at a coffee shop talking knives, it's almost certain no one will have this knife. Not only that, all the inlaid planets will all be different than anyone else's. And I also love how there's, like, if you look at Earth, it's actually Earth. It's not just a blue bulb. Like, it looks like a little Earth. And the anodized, pivot for the sun, I love that little detail too. So, who's this for? I think this is a collector's knife. Please, if you buy this, please don't use this. There's too few of them. Improvement-wise, given the price point at table, like, sure, you could argue, give me an M390 blade. You can argue that, guys. But honestly, you're not buying this for the blade. You're buying this for the carbon fiber quantum side of things with the inlays. The blade is so tertiary to everything else, given the titanium milling on that beautiful back scale, given the blade, given the inlaid planets, given the anode pivot. It's just such a unique fit and feel to this. Really cool knife. And let's be honest, if they did this, and they took this knife and made, if they made a roller bearing variant of this with, like, say, S110V, you'd be talking $5,000-$6,000 on the secondary immediately. So I don't see them really doing that. And it would, I guess, if they did do that, I'm thinking it would kind of, get in the way of their custom division, which is a really, really strong force for them right now. And I don't think you want to mess with that formula. So, yeah. Great knife, super unique. I think a lot of people are going to win these, lock them up, and just watch them appreciate. Personally, it's because they're so well done. Okay, well, I talked about the materials. I talked about those beautiful inlays, different materials on that. I talked about the Chromax blade, the fact that it's a quantum carbon variant. That's very, very uncommon, actually. Multi-row bearings. I talked about the titanium milled back. That looks terrific. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about on this, so I might have actually kept under my 20 minutes today. That was my goal. So hopefully we're on pace for that. The timer doesn't really always dictate to how much or how little I like a knife, because I feel like this is just an absolute stunner of a knife. So I really, really dig this. And I didn't even say, yes, you have the ability to run a lanyard on this. On the back here. It's kind of built into the scale. It's kind of hiding in plain sight, but I'll just show it real quick because we got time. So there you go. If you want to run a lanyard, you could. I wouldn't know. It's just too nice. Very dressy quantum. The dressiest of dress. All right, guys. Well, I'll leave you at that. And I guess have yourself a fantastic week. Enjoy it. And spring's here. So, with that, it's time to start carrying those knives again. And, we've got just recently launched that Ignis, actually, as of this morning. I'm filming this on the Monday. So, just launched that video this morning. So, hopefully that does well. Great knife. And those 111s are just humongous. So, absolutely love them. Those little swords on multi-row bearings. Just incredible knives. Sorry for going off on a tangent, but have yourself a fantastic week. Check out BladeZilla.ca. Visit the Facebook page. Visit the Instagram page. Visit the TikTok. And if you're on the YouTube right now, throw a thumbs up on it. It helps the video, helps the channel, helps the site. And if you're helping the site, it brings more of these types of videos into your feed. This is a complete labor of love. More than anything, I could sit here and, as I have in the past, talk for hours about knives for absolutely no reason other than I just truly, truly love it from the bottom of my heart. So appreciate your time. Have a great week for the third time, and we will catch you on the next one. Okay, guys? Peace.